Good girl, honey. It's all right, Dave. It's all right, hon. Okay, hon. Hey, Deb, how you doing? Daisy, it's all right. Okay, good girl. Okay, Dave. Good girl, hon. She said hello to you, Daisy. How's it going, Deb? Is it cold down there? Still cold up here. I think it was 10 when I left this morning, about 10 o'clock. Yeah, what'd you think of it? Well, I'll tell you, that sums up Florida just perfect. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Debbie, that Florida project, it wasn't the greatest movie, but boy, I haven't found a more accurate movie with regard to Florida. That was filmed in a place that couldn't have been better. Kissimmee. Really quiet. Cape Breton Island. I don't even know where that's at. I have to look it up. Oh, Nova Scotia. All right. Bay of Fundy, Digby Scallops. I drove all the way to Halifax from Chicago one weekend. Hey, you're welcome. I mean, I don't think it was the best movie. That movie will never get a lot of props, but I thought it depicted Florida just perfectly. Oh, North Glacier Bay, cool. You ever eat any of those Digby scallops? Those big old scallops? Steven, you had a pretty heavy winter there like we have? It's all right. Yeah, thanks, Kelly. I get a lot of crap over those interviews. I delete probably 50 or 75 comments a day. I've got my fair share of enemies on YouTube, but I thank you. I try and help them out if I can. But it's not easy. $100 per day. Hey, Steven, you talking about scallops? Oh, everything. They call me a manipulator, a scumbag, exploiter. What's the point of my videos? Don't I have anything better to do? I do pay him, yeah. I pay him and I give him money when I see him. I mean, I don't think giving him money is an excuse for, doing something not right. I mean, oh, cool, Steven. So do you do that for a living, Steven? Oh, 100 per day diving. Oh, okay. So is that just recreationally or commercially per person or something? No, I mean, I've talked to them a lot more than what the interviews show. And honestly, I don't think I'm doing any public service or anything. I just think it's interesting. And to be honest with you, Kelly, they like talking about it. They come up to me all the time after I've interviewed them and thanked me. And I really, I always ask them, thank me for what? And they say that they feel it's important that people get a better idea of what their day-to-day lifestyle's like. Oh, okay, Stephen, that's interesting. To be honest with you, though, on that cricket video, Detroit streets, the last video of the last interview, I did have kind of second thoughts about that one. Yeah, I do. I mean, and I give them the money I get from these videos, which isn't a lot. From 2007 to right around Christmas, I had $850. And I don't know if you ever saw the Tassie interview. I keep in touch with Tassie. She went to rehabs in a relationship, living out of Detroit, blah, 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 doing well. I paid Tassie twice as much as her videos garnered because I didn't want her believing some bullshit that she saw on YouTube, thinking that I was saying I was giving her the money when I wasn't. It's not that much. And another problem, Kelly, is when you monetize these videos, when they're regarding, women that I interview, YouTube cuts you out of a lot of the advertising because they don't want those type interviews coming up with a lot of the things that they're advertising for. So it's pretty limited. Hey, Stephen, that's interesting. So you were diving around the Bay of Fundy? Yeah, Tassie's a sweetheart. There's a guy that was on here the other night that told me about a website of a photographer, and he had pictures of Tassie working the streets 6 years ago, standing on the railroad tracks. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it. Most people don't ever consider it. The cricket kind of seems like, I don't know, not because of the way she's looked. Cricket is well within the adult age. I don't know. I guess part of it is because there's such a reaction to it. That I've never got that kind of backlash from an interview. Yeah, thanks, Tassie. Tassie's a sweetheart. Hey, Hawkeye. No, I'm talking about the cricket interview. The last one I put up, it was Detroit streets. I didn't even want to put cricket. I just saw cricket here a couple months ago. Hey, Mark. Yeah, Stephen. Cricket wasn't too interested in talking to me, as you can tell by the interview. As I said, I saw her a couple of months ago, and I pulled into a bank to get some money out of an ATM, and she walked up to me thinking that I was, going to hire her. And I said, no, I'm just getting the ATM. She said, okay, sorry, appreciate it. Hey, Robert, Tom Reed, REED, 1956 at gmail.com. Yeah, I know. I agree with you, Stephen. You're right about that, though. Calvin Murray sent me his phone number. I'm going to give him a call a little while. Calvin's an interesting guy. I can't wait to talk to him. You guys have probably read his posts about different things. He's very well-schooled on the politics of Detroit. He's well-spoken, writes well. Has a lot of great information about the city and about life in general. He calls it right on every time. He's a great guy. I appreciate him coming on here and looking around. You're right, Stephen. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Hardcore. I don't think Tassie is ever going to be a soccer mom. I thought it was kind of sweet after I'd sent her that money order. I have her Facebook account. I hate Facebook, by the way. As I say, I've got 6 friends, and I'm trying to get rid of them. But the next day after she cashed that money order, she went and had her nails done. I thought it was just kind of sweet. You know, I probably chat with Tassie about once a month, you know, about something. She's gained weight. You wouldn't recognize her. Probably put on 30 pounds. Yeah, I agree, Kelly. She sure does. You know, Tassie is doing so well. And on that note, I don't want to even ask her. I did tell her, you know, you ought to get your own channel someday. You'd do great. I'd set it up for you if you wanted me to. And she just didn't really think. She asked that I take her videos down, which I did. I mean, hold off on any parade for me. I mean, I don't think that's that big a deal. I offer anybody that I've ever taken any video of to take it down. I've got Penny's is taken down. Kelly's was taken down. It's fine with me. I mean, who in the hell would want to have a mother or a sister or something and people running across that damn thing all the time bringing it up? Yeah, Tassie, you know, a guy told me one time, and I've never asked Tassie, that she was a kind of a legendary local rapper. I believe that. No, you know, it's funny you should say that, Kelly. No, not at all. Anytime I've been approached by that, it's always it is super hard being clean. It's almost uncomfortable for most of them. Yeah, that's good, Stephen. Super. It's 1,000 times easier to go back to her old life than it is to live in a suburb with a boyfriend, seeing her nephews and nieces, working a full-time job. It doesn't make any sense. But that whole life doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I wish you would. I tell those people all the time, I'll be glad to help you set up your own channel. Get you a camera and the whole bit. Yeah, she could teach so much and give people hope. I agree. And look at Angel. I mean, you know, that's the first time in my life that I've ever, you know, I wouldn't say I got to know her really. We were acquaintances, that I've ever like had that relationship with someone and then go back and look at their videos when they were alive. I've never had that happen before with someone that I knew. It's weird. I catch myself not wanting to watch her interview when I click on there. Sometimes when I'm on my phone and I'm answering a question, the video automatically comes up and it's like, oh, God, you know. But Angel's video will continue to promote, in a way, goodwill amongst people that have a lot of skills that don't think an early death is ever going to happen to them. I mean, that was a shocker. Thanks, Robert. Yep. And another thing too, like I tell people, Kelly, who the hell doesn't lie? I mean, she doesn't tell me she has HIV. It's really none of my business. And she didn't tell me she was on heroin. That's none of my business either. So as far as I see it, I'm lucky to get whatever information she gave me about the street life. Oh, I'm glad I'm glad that that came up, Kelly, because one of the biggest complaints I get is me asking women about the relationship with black customers. I ask the white women that. I ask the black women that. I don't ask it as a leading question. If they say they're great or if they say they're the worst people in the world, it doesn't matter to me. But it's asked a lot, and I bring it up. But those are probably 20 or 25 nasty emails a day. I'll tell you, YouTube will teach you to be thick-skinned. It really will. Yeah, it's true, Robert. Walking a tightrope the whole time. I'm walking one right now, to tell you the truth. I've had a monster major, you know, another thing too, Kelly, is I've had huge problems with depression my whole life. And I think that maybe is what draws me to those women. You know, I think one more turn in the bend and I could have been out there with them. Yeah, that's true. Detroit, my God. Yeah, everybody from the suburbs with their middle income to upper middle income jobs comes down, goes to a sporting event, eats at a restaurant, then goes home. It doesn't do anything for the residents. I'm telling you that. If you guys are, charities and these places that run money, most of them are full of shit that I ever read about. But I'll tell you one organization that is really walk the walk, keeps a low profile, tries to stay out of the paper, is that Kresge Foundation. That Kresge Foundation is superb. They'll go into a block where you got 3 neighbors trying to make a 5-house area work, and the crime's heavy and they can't do anything. Kresge Foundation will go in there and do whatever they can to help them. Hey, thanks, Shay. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Hey, I tell people all the time, all as I do is get drawn to an interest as I have. I've been doing that my whole life. I was doing it way before I started my YouTube channel in 2007. And what's so great about YouTube is this brought these videos to other people that appreciate what these women have to share. Honest to God, it's great. But I was doing I've been fooling around with cameras since I was 16 and 63. I got just tons of videos and cameras. I only switched to video because I got bored with photography. And once again, like I say, I think it leads to being depressed. If you look at most of my photography, it's on the dark side. I'm the last guy that wants to be taking color photography on a bright sunny day with people flying kites and having picnics. I prefer that dark alley look. That's probably why I fell in love with Del Rey. Dim lights, abandoned houses. I don't know. I like it. No, Kelly, I haven't. What I tell people all the time is all it takes is one instance, and that is being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Those drives that I took over in River Rouge, particularly the early ones before the state was turning it into an infrastructure for the new bridge, that's a perfect place to dump a body. I know they found bodies back there before, and I always thought if I rounded the corner and someone was throwing a body in the weeds, I'm sure they wouldn't think very highly of me being able to identify them. Other than that, not at all. No. Oh, one time when I was down there a few years ago, Mexican gang, they were drag racing. Hey, I saw this with my own eyes. The fire department and the police department were watching drag races after they blocked off the streets on West Jefferson from Livernois down to I think it was down to Reed Street, maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles. And I was videotaping some of those drag races, and they came up to me and said, hey, they already knew about my channel and said, I know what you're doing. Could you do us a favor and not upload those videos? It's like, wow, yeah, no problem, man. I didn't upload them. And I've had the Border Patrol get me, but no, not really. I mean, to tell you the truth, my favorite place is Del Rey, and there's nothing to do there. Everybody's broke. The buildings are burned out. There's nothing to steal. I mean, there's not much reason for anybody to be back there. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. You're right about that. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I wish the best for Detroit, but their public transportation system and their school system is a joke. Yeah, Stephen, no, I believe it. Detroit, there was no place like it from after the Depression up until around the early 70s. It was the place to live. There were 2 million people in Detroit at one time. Now it's around 630,000. Nah, what started the channel? I can remember it. I kind of did the same thing with eBay. I did photography for years. I never even showed my photography to anybody. Nobody was really interested in it. I just kind of liked it myself and went out and did it. I took 10,000-mile trips and just photographed all sorts of things, all sorts of different places. They're on film, which is why I don't see many of them on here. I think I've only uploaded digital because it just takes forever. And then I heard about YouTube, and they said you could take videos and you could upload videos on this platform and then share them with people. And I thought, wow. So when I started out, I remember taking a video of a chicken dinner. There's kind of a famous restaurant about 15 miles from here called Iva's Chicken. And I filmed the chicken dinner. And, yeah, I mean, I didn't have any subscribers until these videos with these women took off. I think I had videos, and those videos with the women were like 2.5, 3 years old before anybody paid any attention to them. And then all of it does is take one video for YouTube to recommend, and you're home free. I went from less than 1,000 subscribers to 19,000 in about 2 weeks. Yeah, what prompted the interviews? Well, I'll be completely honest with you. My dad was kind of a strange guy, and for some reason, I lived with kids that had strange parents. I'm not shitting you. It's like the mental version of 3 Mile Island. We were middle class. Our dads all worked at factories. My dad was always encouraging me to steal, and if you didn't get caught, nothing was wrong with it. And he would tell me about the horror houses in Windsor when he was like in his 40s he'd go to. And this is why he's married to my mother. And the horror houses in Detroit, there were 2 famous ones, Willis Show Bar and Anderson's Gardens. He showed me how to get there. So there was a buddy of mine and I that I told him, I said, my dad was telling me about these horror houses down in Detroit. And, you can go down there and like get blowjobs and stuff for $10. Well, we were just like 17, 18-year-old guys. I mean, I don't know about how your life was when you were growing up, but I didn't know anybody getting blowjobs. Not that easy, and not for $10. So we'd go down there and we would go to Anderson's Gardens and the Willis Show Bar. And to make it legal, they always had a band playing. And then once in a while, we would like get a streetwalker or two. We never had intercourse with them or anything, but they'd always be down in Cass Corridor. Well, Cass Corridor has turned into kind of an expensive place now, where they're doing a lot of rehab, and it's Yuppieville, that kind of thing. They shut those places down a long time ago. I think Anderson's Gardens was probably shut down in 88, 89, but it had already been down by then. I was going there in the mid-70s. So I kind of knew what like street life was and that kind of thing. And, since then, I mean, I knew what was going on whenever I went into city, and I remember thinking, man, these people are really, strung out. And as you get older, you evolve and you realize, when I was young, I thought that, they could have just flipped a switch and had a job and started taking classes at a college. As I got older, I realized that it happened. It was just like a very interesting lifestyle to me. How someone could willingly and openly throw their whole goddamn life away, knowingly. This is going to end bad, but you still do it. And like Angel said, it's quick cash. Yeah, see, I that's all I ever got, Stephen. I didn't like the other. And it's funny you should say that, because the guy that I went down to Detroit with was the same way. So to answer your question, Kelly, I think it was just an interest. I had been exposed to it early. And I used to have these like thoughts that like if you could ever just like get one of these women and turn them around, and you'd end up having a great relationship. But I don't think I could have handled that. But I used to think about it kind of like a fantasy, I guess. And back when I was going to those places, it was a different class of women. I mean, you would have thought you walked into a place where a bunch of secretaries were working. It wasn't at all like what you see on these street interviews. Kelly, are you still conscious? Yeah, thank you. I mean, I think the ones that appreciate, I don't think I'm doing anything out of the ordinary. Well, thank you, Kelly. And Shay, yeah, you're right. I mean, I think they're honest. I mean, I get tagged about asking leading questions. I mean, there's always going to be on somebody on YouTube that isn't going to like what I ask, no matter what it's about. So I mean, it's as honest as you can get. What I do sometimes is like, I will go up to them and I'll say, hey, I upload these videos to YouTube. You know, I will pay you for your time. If you don't want me to take them down, I will. Can I get an interview from you? Do you mind? It's like, oh yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, it'd be great. That's when I walk up to them and I kind of start the camera. It's like, hi, my name's Tom Reed. I'm down here. I just don't go up with the camera rolling. You know, I kind of set it up. Yeah, that's exactly right. And there's a weird brain chemistry that goes on with people that they just are attracted to that dead end. It's just the way it is. They don't see a goal at the end of the rainbow, turning their life around, getting married to the guy of their dreams, having kids, living in a suburb, getting a good job, maybe going to college. That's not even in their psyche. And Angel's a perfect example of what abuse does to someone at that age when their brain's still developing. Well, that's a good question. Boy, you're asking the wrong guy. God, I can almost guarantee it. I give the wrong answer. I don't know. It's a hell of a dream, though. Yeah, but I think by and large they've been, other than drug use, they're pretty honest. Particularly Angel. I'll tell you, I'll never get an interview that interesting and that profound from a person that well spoken ever again. Probably impromptu. I doubt it. Angel was an intelligent person. She could have done a lot, but you know what? She didn't want it. Yeah, you're right, Kelly. Quick money. I would say that what I've learned was the biggest impact is that I tell you that's the scourge of man, heroin. Nothing's worse. It's even worse now than it used to be because now it gets spiked with fentanyl and you only stand a chance of getting the booby prize of dying when you're injecting it. I mean, there's a section of every big city in this country that's essentially third world. You've got people that are drug addicted, no place to live, involved in crime. And solicitation's a misdemeanor, but once you get a felony or two on your record, you're fucked. Which I always had kind of a problem with. These convicted felons pay their debt to society. And if society isn't satisfied with that, then they ought to come up with another form of punishment. If you can't get a job after you've fulfilled your prison sentence, what has society really done? It's the charge that keeps on giving. This doesn't make any sense. Same with these women that are working the streets. It would be, if the argument is fiscal, it would be more financially prudent to get these women, get them into an alternative program, showing there's a better way of life. It's got to be cheaper than what these people cost society. The HIV medications that people like Angel were on cost the taxpayers about $6,000 a month. Those drugs are expensive. Yeah, it is sad, Shay. Yeah, that's exactly right. Aren't given the actual skills to be productive. Yep, I agree with you 100%. And when you look at the cost, I mean, if that's the argument, it would be so much cost effective to do whatever it costs to get these people at a young age and teach them a skill. I mean, most of these people don't have any motive to not get in trouble. It's part of their life. And it sounds sexist, but it's one thing for a guy to go out whoring around. It's another thing for a young woman to just sell herself to total strangers with the chance of getting murdered. And God knows what else goes along with that. I mean, it's rock bottom, and a heroin addict, and no place to live, and generally estranged from all their family members. Hey, Superwoman, hello. GED is a fucking joke. I read a 650-page book on that. I don't know how much you've read about it, Kelly, but the GED was created for servicemen when they were drafting people early in the wars. They served their country, and did what they could. When they came out, a lot of them had quit school to join the military. Well, they didn't have a high school diploma. Well, because of that, they couldn't get the GI Bill because they weren't allowed to go to college. That's how the GED started. It was to pay back good guys, to give them a benchmark, to be able to get over the hump, to live a good life and take advantage of their bills. Well, it's totally been watered out ever since. All as I tell people, it's like a GED, it's just the same. No, it's not the same. 4 years of studying in high school is much different than a 95-minute test over about a 60-hour studying program. Apples and oranges. Yeah, service dogs. I mean, I never watched it, but that pit bulls and parolees or something. Crazy, human behavior, man. It's just like I watch that Forensic Files. And I like that American Greed. Those are the only two shows. I've watched the same Forensic Files over and over and over. It's crazy. I wish they'd come out with some new ones. Although the good narrator, Peter Thomas, died, so it's not going to be the same. But just what makes people do what they do? You see these people have nice lifestyles and they decide to knock off their wife over some floozy they met at a titty bar. And before you know it, they get caught and they get life without parole. It's just, why do people do what they do? Although I'm pretty good friends with the prosecutor up here, Kelly, and her argument is that prisons aren't about rehabilitation. They're about punishment, which is true. I do know this. I had a great friend of mine that was a priest in Chicago. He ended up getting lung cancer and dying right after he retired. Super good guy. They made him Monsignor at the end. He was a very popular guy in Chicago. And he convinced me over many chats that prison sucks. It's really bad. People that don't know what they're talking about say they go in there and they get their teeth fixed and medical and turn into bodybuilders and get college degrees. Well, not really. And you pay a hell of a price for that. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Stephen? Stephen, how do you like that medical program you have over there? Would you say it's satisfactory? Yeah, you're right, Mark. Yeah, corrupt from the top of the bottom. We just had a guy hang himself in jail here yesterday. And this is sad as hell, because I don't know what his upbringing was. The goddamn guy gets caught using somebody else's credit cards. I mean, that's fucked up. He gets arrested. He gets put in jail. While he's in jail, his girlfriend wrote him a note that when he got out, she was not going to be with him anymore. He wrote a 3-page letter that he couldn't live without her and hung himself with a bed sheet off the corner of the bed. That's sad. Yeah, you're right, Mark. Exactly right. Torn between punishment and rehabilitation. Where do I live, Ken? You mean where do I stay when I'm in Detroit, or where do I live now, Kelly? Yeah, it's a cat. See that bent tail cat? There's about 5 feral cats here. I'm not their biggest fans. I'm a total bird feeder nut. I just spent $50 on bird seed because I know it's going to be cold for the next week in Suet. I love birds. I live in West Branch, Michigan. It's about 165 miles north of Detroit. And when I'm down in Detroit, I stay at the Red Roof Inn in Dearborn. I had places I could stay, but I've just never been a guy to, want to stay at people's houses. I don't know. It just seems like I'm a prisoner in my room. Yeah, unarmed, unafraid, and we have free healthcare. Stephen, would you describe that free healthcare as good? Are you happy with it? Feel like a nuisance. That's exactly right. Yeah, it just seems, I don't know, I just felt uncomfortable doing it. So, yeah, that makes sense. Kelly, I forget, where do you live? Aren't you in Kansas or Missouri or something, St. Louis? Somewhere around there? Oh, you like it? Wow. Like to be over Canada. I always had fantasies of living in Canada, dude. Just Windsor, though. Oh, Macomb County. Don't you work at a group home or something? Or something with like you take care of 6 or 8 kids or something, special needs people. Yeah, man, the world's nuts, crazy. There's a lot of good in the world, though. I still think good overcomes evil long term. Don't you, Daisy? Daisy thinks good overcomes evil. Oh yeah, Kelly, my email is Tom Reed, REED, 1956 at gmail.com. Yeah, I might be confusing you with somebody else. There was a lady that I thought the avatar looked the same, and I just wasn't sure, to tell you the truth. So you've never been on a live chat, so I am thinking of someone else. Now that I know it's not her, she's a real Bible thumper, which is up to her. But yeah, send me an email, Tom Reed, REED, 1956 at gmail.com. $7 for any drug. Yeah, jeez. Steven, the only thing that I wonder about that is why are there so many Canadians coming over to Detroit paying out of their pocket to get surgery if the Canadian system is so good? It takes you forever to get an appointment, doesn't it? I am Irish, yeah. Irish and Scottish. I can't wait to talk to this Calvin Murray tonight. It's really going to be fun. Love that guy's post. Oh, I got any newer emails. You're a good girl, Daisy. Yeah, I know the Canadians hate Donald Trump. Hey Kelly, sorry about that. I just thought your avatar looks similar to her. To hers. Now, Robert, I didn't get any email from you yet. I wonder why. Kelly, did you send an email to me? Why this Gmail doesn't update quicker? Because Robert sent an email to me. And did you understand my email when I gave it to you? No, it takes this Gmail so long. Canada. That Malka Ringel, she posts on here quite a bit. Nice lady, lives up in Quebec. Kelly, did you get my email? Did you hear it? Here's an interesting guy I met sold something to on eBay. He was like a semi-professional singer. Was the art director for National Geographic. Hell of a nice guy. Lives over in Virginia. No, I didn't get your email. Did you get my email? Oh, what? I don't have your email address. Here, I'll put my email here right now. Wow. Yeah, I always liked I like everything about Canada, except that you can't use a radar detector when you're trying to get to Niagara Falls. I was thinking that the other day, and we were like 18. You could drink over in Canada. We weren't really big drinkers, but we go over there, try and meet girls at bars and stuff like that. And it was a big deal that their beer was 5%. Now look at these microbreweries, 8, 11. I've met some great people on YouTube. I appreciate you people tuning in. It's fun talking to them. Really look forward to it. I mean, if somebody called me on my cell phone to talk, I probably wouldn't answer it. And here you get on a chat board with strangers and you have a good time. It's weird. Hey, Steven, are those Digby scallops really big? I mean, bigger than a normal scallop? Yeah, you're right. Not in Michigan anymore. We voted it as legal. But the federal government can charge you whenever they want, which I'm suspicious of. Hell, the cops aren't going to be able to search any cars anymore. That was the biggest card they had in the deck, is smelling marijuana. Yeah, I think you're right. Here's another one of these goddamn robocalls. You guys get those robocalls? Damn it, I'd like to find out where they really live. And they've got these recordings now. It sounds like a real person. I can always tell when I tell them to fuck off and they don't hang up that it's a recording. What assholes. $63. I just turned 63. How old are you, Stephen? Oh, here's an email. I did get this email from this guy. No, I'm here, Elizabeth. I'm here. Yeah, nobody ever thinks I'm my age. Not that that's any big deal, but they're always shocked I'm as old as I am. I don't know why. I think I look my age. Just for the hell of it, I grew a beard about a month ago. I've run into a couple people in the grocery store that didn't even recognize me. I think it's stupid, man. People going around trying to look younger or whatever. It doesn't mean anything to me. You're your age, you know. I don't care. This guy's asking me. He lived in Rouge. He wants an old milk bottle from where he grew up. Age gracefully. That's the way I look at it. You know, when you're, I think age is like a big deal when you get your driver's license or when you have the first sex or you first go to college or you get, yeah, go on your first vacation, stuff like that. But man, past the age of 30, I don't see much of a difference. All right, Kelly. Appreciate having you here. Thank you. When I say past 30, I mean, what's the sense of it all? I don't really like getting old, though, I'll tell you that. I think getting old sucks. At least when you're young, you're naive. You think you're going to have this great, big, fantastic world, and it takes a while to figure out that, it's okay, but it's not as fantastic as you thought it was going to be. So you stumble through 30 or 35 years. Then you get in your 60s like I am. And it's like, oh, shit, man, 20 years of this. And then some clown whispers in your ear, you're only as old as you feel. Man, it's such a stupid ass comment. But I think getting older and like living an older lifestyle sucks. I could, I'd donate whatever organs are worth of shit to a younger person with health problems. Just check out of this goddamn rat race. Yeah, aging gracefully. You got it, man, Mark. It's going to be cold all week here, like down to the 5 and 8 at night. Glad this chat bulb's working though, man. That was really bugging me. That thing, I don't know what the deal was. I think YouTube fixed it though, and they didn't tell me. So I was really bitching it out for a while. And then I quit hearing from them and it started working. Yeah, I'm with you, Mark. I second that. Yeah, I think I am too. I think I am. You never know until the old Grim Reaper comes down on you, though. Yeah, you never know what's going to nail you then. Might not be so ballsy about being comfortable with it. I've been a private detective my whole life, Stephen. All right, Danny. Good girl, man. Good girl. You're a good girl. You're keeping an eye on things. Yeah, you're right, Mark. All guessing. It's true. Dried bones, hidden dried bones of those that were killed. You mean like murdered, Stephen? Yeah, no, it is scary. That's urban blight. Man, you're not going to believe what happened to me yesterday. I was managing an estate of an old buddy of mine. Died. Anyway, I had to liquidate it and do all this bullshit. Well, the CPA that's worked on it's been doing it forever. Well, I sent the final disbursement checks to these charities, and they sent thank you letters. And I remember asking him, hey, don't I need any special tax forms sent by them? No, the letters will be fine. Yesterday he calls me and wants these 2 special letters. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just asked you about this 2 weeks ago. Well, I need them. So I called the attorney I hired to handle the file. Anyway, he took care of it. We don't need those letters. This guy's getting too old to do CPA work. When I go to Walmart, and I'm pissed off because I just had this conversation with this guy. A couple other things are going wrong. I go into Walmart, into the gas station part, and I'm low on gas because I took Daisy for a walk, and I probably should have got gas first, but I just didn't. And it's colder than a bitch, blowing like a motherfucker. I'm putting gas in this goddamn van, and I'm talking to this fucker about this bullshit, and I drop the cap to the gas. Fucking cap rolls under the middle of the van. So I look under there while the gas is pumping, and the only way that I'm going to get that cap is to, fuck around, take the gas out, pull up. It's right in the middle of the van. So I said, fuck it. I just laid on my stomach, reached back there and grabbed the cap. And when I grabbed the cap and was pulling it out, I banged my fucking head on the gas nozzle. The gas nozzle comes out of the tank. You know how fast the gas coming. Just soaks my hat, my coat, my clothes, my pants. I'm just soaked with fucking gasoline. Now, when the thing hit the ground, it stopped. But between my head and the ground, that's a lot of gas. So I'm pissed off more now. I can still finish putting the gas in the van though. Came home, throw this shit in the washer, put everything I could think of in the washer. Goddamn thing still smells like gas. So I went and got some Febreze and soaked it with that, and I think I'm going to be able to save it. Anybody know what takes the smell of gasoline out of something besides throwing it away? We talk about a bad day. Man, if that had caught on fire, I wouldn't be talking to you. Yeah, it was a badass day, man. You wouldn't even think that's possible. Going on, Tim. Yeah, I don't. I'd have to leave it outside then. It stinks, man. Oh, good. Just hanging out, not doing much. We got an alert. The Mega Millions is 245 million. If I won that goddamn thing, I'd send everybody from my YouTube channel some money. It'd be cool to just give it away to people. No strings attached. Crazy. Steven, do you still work? Yeah, we covered that already, Steve. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad this is working. Oh, disability. Okay. Yeah, that was really depressing me. I spent so much time trying to get this fucking thing working, man, to no avail. I did all sorts of shit. Where's Superwoman out there? It's being awful quiet today. Wonder why people retract their messages. Anybody got an idea on that? Did they just mistype or they said something they didn't want anybody else to read? I mean, before I retracted, it seems like you just wouldn't send it. $350 a month, that's not too bad. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yep, type before they speak. All right. You know, I remember that Kelly Hanos coming on before. She must have just typed written responses to some of the videos. Mark or Tim, does that name ring a bell to you? Kelly Hanos, Honos. Said she'd never come on a chat before. But I remember looking it up one time. Seems like a really nice girl. Yeah, it must have been written. 'Cause I remember looking her up one time to see if it was legit or not. But she said today that was the first time she was on the live chat. Hey, when we get some of these crackpots that come on here and they, start talking shit and we're not sure if they're legit or not, you guys always talk about their channel content. And I always thought that you just went over to these three dots. Of course, mine wasn't working for a long time. But I see that there's no button on there to check their channel. What do you do? Just click on their name or cut and paste it in YouTube and see if there's a channel to find it out? Because it seems like you do it instantaneously. You can see it through the three dots. Like in what kind of way? Option to go to channel. See, I don't have that option. I've got report, remove, put user in timeout, hide this user on the channel, or remove moderator. I don't have that same button. Maybe you can do it, but I can't unless you click on their the picture. Oh, okay. See, it doesn't do shit when I click the picture. I can't do that on mine. Hope I don't have the user picture. Another fucking thing that's wrong with this now. Yeah, you can click on the user picture and it goes to the channel, huh? No, mine won't do that. Mine doesn't do anything. No, it doesn't do anything for me either. Nope, nothing. Oh, okay, maybe the phone. All right. I can change these toggle stamps to pop out chat, toggle timestamps. Now, can you see those timestamps I just put on? Yeah, I'm on the laptop, but I can't do it. It won't do anything for me. So you can't see the timestamps. Okay. So I can go up to the top and put participants, pop out chat, timestamps. Hey, Slim Jim. Hi. How you doing? Oh, okay. That makes sense then. Gotcha. Good. Doing fine. Yep. Yeah, they sure are. We've had a hell of a winter. Somebody told me we're supposed to get some more snow Sunday. God damn, I hope not. It's only 17 out now. Fuck. Tomorrow snow too. 80% chance. Yeah, they've missed it. More school this year than anywhere, anytime. Oh. Yeah, jeez. I hope not. God damn it. 5 more inches. Oh, yeah, you're right. God damn it. From 12 a.m. So that'll be till night, till 5 p.m. the whole goddamn day. Son of a bitch. Yeah, 2 to 5 inches. I mean, there's so much snow around here. I've never had it like this since I've lived up here. I can't even like take Daisy for a walk. I take her for a walk, but I go down to the state parking lot. I can't take her over in the golf course. It's just too deep of snow. Michigan in general, yeah, I think it's a good place to live. Yeah, depends what your skill set is, but I mean, if I was young, I'd be glad to be down in Detroit, starting out. Exciting. Being a kid, yeah. I think you'd do fine there. I think you'd do fine. IT is a big thing in Detroit, big suburban area. Where do you live now, Slim Jim? Yeah, Detroit are the suburbs. Yeah, Tri-County area, Macomb, Wayne, and Oakland County. Oh, Long Island. Okay. Yeah, you could give it a try. What are you just trying to give the old Midwest a spin? See how it is living here? Oh, yeah. I know you're on the west side, Mark. What's wrong with New York? Too high a taxes, Slim Jim? I know their taxes are crazy. It's not really a video of Walgreens, Ron. It's I live in some condominiums, and there were supposed to be some condominiums like the one I live in, built across the street, and it never happened. So that building you see with the awning is Walgreens. So uh, these are just chats, or I have like just leave the camera on when we're getting some bad weather. I'll leave it on tonight because we're supposed to get like 5 inches of snow. Where do you live, Ron? Yeah, you got a good point, Slim Jim. All right, born in West Bloomfield, raised in Detroit. All right. Well, glad you're welcome. Yeah, I got New York traffic. Fuck that place. Same with Chicago. I lived downtown for 13 years. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. Goddamn traffic jam everywhere you go. Just not worth it. No, West Bloomfield's cool. No, I'm not. I'm not, Ron. My dad worked at Rouge for years. He's been dead for, God, I don't know, 20 years now. And I remember as a kid, I grew up in the suburb, Flat Rock. He was always talking about Del Rey, its rich Hungarian history. So I'd go up there and drive around and just kind of, revisited the place about 10 years ago and just like the area. Yeah, I got a bed and breakfast down in Florida, Slim Jim. Florida sucks. Weren't you glad to get out of there? Everybody thinks you're I thought it. You're gonna go down to Florida and just drink pina coladas and walk on the beach. Fuck. Well, do you have another thing coming? Crime, traffic. Summers are brutal. Winter, the traffic's nuts. It's all the same, other than Sarasota. Shit, you get Fort Lauderdale South, you wouldn't even think you're in the United States. You want to get into shooting again? Yeah, go to Del Rey. You'll fit right in. Yeah, guns are big here, Slim Jim. You'll love it. I'd say about 12 years. 12 years, I would say so. Yeah, a lot in the last 4 or 5 years. Quite a few. Yeah, it was always this channel. Yep. And what happened is, when you first started out on YouTube, at least when I did, you just had to use an email. And then about 5 years ago, Google and YouTube, they were trying to get everybody to come up with like a name for a channel. You kind of like had to have one. So I remember I just got done watching something about LeBron James. He calls himself the chosen one, but that's chosen one, like the Jews or Jesus or something like that. And I thought, oh, chosen something. So how you click in the box and it tells you if the name's available. So I was just going to make it chosen, just joking. I didn't think that the name would be that prominent. At the beginning, it seemed like the email address was going to be used more than the name. So I just clicked in chosen, chosen this, chosen that. And then it came up chosen one, and it was like one, like you won a game. Well, that's not religious at all. So I thought, yeah, fuck it, chosen one. I just used chosen one because it's something somebody can remember. I figured I'd probably be spelling it all the time. And it's a cheat. I'm glad I did in a way, and kind of wish I wouldn't have in a way. I'm glad I did in a way because it's easy to remember. And it's a cheap litmus test. When someone emails me or texts me or gets a hold of me through YouTube and they say, oh, you think you're the chosen one, I realize how stupid they are, because they would realize that one has nothing to do, spelled the way I do spell it, with religion. It's a joke. So I get to weed out a bunch of screwballs right off the bat just based on that. The thing I don't like about it is I'm always spelling it when somebody's asking, they'll say I couldn't find your channel. I think they automatically spell it chosen one. So it's not the greatest name, but at the time I didn't think, down the road like this. Once you got that channel, that's it. You're not changing the name. Now, just recently, I am going to do another channel, like talking about depression and that kind of thing, therapies, life experiences, that kind of thing. And I did get another channel. You can have two channels now, but I haven't uploaded anything to it. But you never used to have that. That's recent. I think just a few months you've been able to do that. They make it easy. You can kind of go back and forth. So it's kind of nice. They've changed a lot of things on YouTube. I mean, like I said, when I first started, I was just screwing around, and 20,000 subscribers, or 21,000, whatever it is, it doesn't really get you anything. I mean, there's really no money in it. You do get like other functions on your channel. It's all chump change bullshit. Um, I don't see any great advantage to it other than, somebody likes watching your videos. Well, what's cool about it is that it's voluntary. I mean, people come here on their own volition. If they like something you put up, it attracts a certain type of personality. I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd have only Detroit videos. Although, to be honest with you, and I'm happy for Detroit, it is turning the corner. It is getting better. And I want it to get better, but it's getting less interesting to me. I can remember going down there in the heyday when those, it was at its worst with the abandoned buildings and stuff. And I remember thought, wow, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, this is like world class blight. And I really think I took advantage of it. I videoed, took photographs, everything I could. Even when after I moved up here, I drove back and forth like it was around the block. So I didn't want to miss it. Where'd they find it, Debbie? Hamtramck? And where'd they steal it from? And was it trashed or just the lock punched out? Yeah, you're right. The Everglades are fantastic, Slim Jim. Oh, okay. Was there much damage to it? Oh, that's wild. Was there anything in there that was stolen? I wonder how they actually recovered it. If somebody, how long was it missing, Deb? Wow, 2 months. So you had to go out and get another car and the whole bit? Wonder how they noticed it wherever they picked it up. Just someone said this car hasn't moved, or the plates were expired, or something like that. You got that thing. You got it taken right after Christmas. December 11th. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess that would be 2 months to the day. 3, 28. Yeah. Yeah, I just hang out up here, see what's at them. See the old stray cats are out there looking around. Hang out. It's nice up here in the summer. Hey, Mike, what's happening? Yeah, things started working again. I would have never been gone that long. See you later, Tim. Hey, Deb, what day did they find the car then? What was the actual date they found it? girl, huh? Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, okay. Yeah, I live in West Branch, Ron. Yep. Yeah, 52. Wish it was 52 here. Hey, Mike, is there a bunch of ice going down the Mississippi? Bye, Deb. Glad you got your car back. Oh, okay. I wonder why. Man, we sure haven't had them here. Yeah, that's all right, man. I can control it now. It just started working again, Mike. Yeah, it wasn't anything I did. Just started working. Well, I think I'm going to go get a few things done. You guys can stay on here if you want. I'm going to leave it on. I'll be back on later. Oh, tell me, I spent a shitload of time on that, Mike. Stupid, really, but I wanted to get it working. I'll be on later, but you guys are welcome to just keep on chatting along. I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, what's that, Mike? Pat's a sweetheart. I just talked to her today for about a half hour. Yeah, she's a really nice person. I'm going to give her a call later tonight. Just a great all-around person. All the people love Pat. She's just a good person. Yeah, she's really nice. All right, I'm just going to cancel out my microphone, minimize this, and go do some stuff. I sure will, Mike. So you guys go ahead. I'll be back on later. So if you feel like chatting, fine. If you don't have to. Talk to you guys later.